Hi, welcome to Giulio's Bar. Today we are gonna make ourselves a drink with Sudachi. So Sudachi is a Japanese citrus famous for being from the province of Tokushima in the Shikoku. The Shikoku is the smaller of the four bigger islands of Japan. Japan has thousands and thousands of islands, it's insane, but four are the big ones. And Shikoku is the smaller one around the middle of the country. This citrus, as any citrus, is really peculiar. It's a relative of the mandarin and a relative of the yuzu, but as always they have some really specific notes. It's sharper than the yuzu, in my opinion, and usually it's sprayed over really savory food. For example, like saba, which I think it's mackerel, fish, or on top of matsutake, the mushrooms. So today I thought about combining it with a pretty powerful flavored scotch whiskey. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make an old fashioned, but just a bit different. So we're gonna start our old fashioned with a spoon of Kokuto, Japanese brown sugar from Okinawa. As I always say, I think it's close to Demerara. I never tried Demerara in my life, but from the description here, it should be closer. It's brown sugar with a bit of licorice molasses flavor. Then for a change, instead of using normal angostura, we're going to use a couple of dishes of orange bitters. Maybe a bit more. 3. Then instead of adding a dash of soda water to melt the sugar, we are just going to juice half of the Sudachi. So we just squeeze half of this. Wait, let me. So hard to describe. It's definitely bitter than I usually, yeah, but in the background comes out some more vanilla-like flavors. So let's stir a bit this brown sugar. Then I'm gonna add 60 milliliters of this Old Pulteney Huddart. This is a single malt Scotch whiskey from the really northern part of the main island of Scotland, or should I say the UK, I don't know. Anyway, really northern Scotland, but not a separate island. There is the town where they make this Old Pulteney. They call it a maritime whiskey because it has a sea salt, sea briny flavor to it. I think it's imparted mostly from the water they use, which I think they have some sulfur or iron or something, some stronger flavored metals in this water, which definitely goes in the whiskey. It's awesome. I love the Old Pulteney 12. Then I bought as a sale. It was on sale. So this was on sale, and I was like, I definitely have to get it because it's an Old Pulteney which has been aged in cask that used to contain peated whiskey. So it gets a bit slight of peat on top of the brininess that distinguish this whiskey. Drinking it neat, I don't think it's superior to the Old Pulteney 12 years, just because this is a bit young. But it has 46% ABV compared to 40% of the normal Old Pulteney. So I'm really curious to see how it performs in a cocktail. So we're going to go for 60 milliliters. Oh, it's so distinctive, this one too. We are going with some really distinctive flavors, both for the citrus and for the whiskey. Okay, now let's add a big ice. And let's stir this variation on an old fashioned. Then let's complete it by squeezing this, slightly squeezing, because I don't really want to put all these seeds in my drink. Actually, I'm gonna take them out a bit. Sometimes you have to wonder about Japanese, how they over-engineer. No, they never over-engineer stuff. They are really a pragmatical country. But just on some things, on the way they raise plants and crops, they are really traditional. And that's why I think they keep all the seeds in their citrus. While other countries, they bioengineered through selection to get rid of the seeds, Japanese people didn't, because they like to suffer. That's why they always line up for kilometers to enter a new bar. The longer the line, the more you suffer, the more pleasure you get once you get inside. By the way, let's squeeze this lightly. Maybe a bit more. No, I got one seed in. I should have stopped. Then I drop it in. So this old fashioned with Sudachi. Cheers. I think I got it right. The smell is really savory. Oh, so many layers. Definitely powerful. It hits you here in the upper guts. The sharpness of the Sudachi fights it over with the intensity of flavor of this Huddart Old Pulteney. And it's a really interesting combination. The sugar is just there to make it so it's not killing you, this drink. You know what, I think Ernest Hemingway would have really liked this. It's one of those drinks like the Death in the Gulf Stream. Something like, let's say, really tough, greedy. It's a good drink. Not for everyone. It might go really well with a steak. Kind of feel like eating a steak now. This will pair really well. I guess that's why they usually combine the Sudachi with some of these more protein heavy foods. It really matches well with the proteins. I want proteins. Oh, it's a good drink. There you see, I almost finished it. And really interesting too. Not simple, not easy, not for everyone, but really good. Like, I think it's not for everyone with Huddart Old Pulteney. I think I'm gonna enjoy it more like this than neat. Neat has a couple of issues with Old Pulteney, mainly that, as I mentioned, it's too young. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want, shake yourself a drink, and I will see you next time. Cheers. Ooh, oh!